Welcome to Yotpo's destination online event, NYDJ and the State of Brand Loyalty. My name is Rochelle Savdier, and I'm an Associate Product Marketing Manager here at Yotpo. We have a great discussion coming up with Steve Morales, VP of Marketing for apparel brand NYDJ, about building better loyalty programs. But first, I'm going to talk about the results of a consumer survey recently conducted by Yotpo, the State of Brand Loyalty 2022. Every year, Yotpo conducts a survey of consumer sentiment around brand loyalty. In December 2021, Yotpo conducted a survey of 3,800 global consumer loyal to one or more brands. These shoppers span 6 age groups, 4 demographics, and 5 different countries. We haven't released the survey results officially yet, so this is just a sneak peek. We'll be releasing it soon, so keep an eye out. I'm going to cover some of the top level findings, and I know I'm biased, but I think they're pretty interesting. So let's dive in. Our first takeaway from the data is that consumer loyalty isn't a given. Brands need to earn it. 38% of respondents say that they don't consider themselves loyal to a brand until they've purchased from them at least 5 times. We asked this question last year too, and it's more than 10% higher in 2022. Why? Because consumer expectations are higher than ever. Brands need to deliver value to keep customers coming back, and they need to ensure that they're meeting customer expectations every time they purchase if they want to convert a first or even 4th time purchaser into a loyal brand advocate. As more and more brands enter the e-commerce space, competition for customer loyalty is going to become even more fierce. Brands need to pay attention to what their consumers want and deliver on it every single time. Our second takeaway is that brand values are the way of the future. 84% say that they're more inclined to be loyal to a brand whose values align with their own. For Gen Z, the number is even higher, more than 90%. Brands can no longer afford to be neutral about social issues. Consumers want them to take a stand, and if they do, they'll reward them with loyalty. Whether it's a commitment to sustainability, giving back to the community, or having fair labor and trade practices, your brand values really, really matter. We have some great examples of brands that are doing this well by incorporating their brand values into their loyalty programs. First is sustainable clothing brand 10 Tree, who plants 10 trees every time an item is purchased. They knew that their shoppers would feel more connected to a program where they could tangibly see the positive impact that they're making in the environment. So they created the Impact Wallet, a tool that allows customers to track the trees they've planted through their purchases, along with the tiered achievements to encourage customers to take action. By structuring their loyalty program around social responsibility, 10 Tree reinforces their brand mission that allows shoppers to play an active role in combating climate change. Another example is home essentials brand Brooklinen, which allows customers to earn loyalty points by donating to Habitat for Humanity. And kids footwear brand Play allows customers to actually donate their points to Race for Good. As you can see, there are so many different ways to communicate your brand values to your shoppers and give them a way to participate in the causes that your brand cares about. This will help you create a deeper emotional connection with your customers, helping to foster loyalty. On to the next takeaway. Customers will go the extra mile for brands that they're loyal to. For brands that they're loyal to, 67% would prefer to shop direct to consumer. 65% would sign up for a loyalty program, and 59% would wait for an item to be back in stock before buying from a competitor. E-commerce is becoming a true value exchange between customer and brand. If you capture a customer's loyalty, the rewards will flow back to you. Customers want to support the brands that they love, whether it's by shopping D2C instead of in a marketplace or signing up for their loyalty program. The last point is super important too. Showing that cultivating loyalty is a great way for brands to minimize the impact of ongoing supply chain issues. And now to the next. Loyalty programs make customers more loyal. 69% said that loyalty programs make them more loyal to a brand, and more than 83% said that belonging to a loyalty program influences repeat purchases. There's a misconception that a customer has to feel loyal towards a brand before they'll join their loyalty program, but it's actually the other way around. Loyalty programs work to generate loyalty, no matter how many times a customer has purchased from you in the past. That's why it's such an effective tool for retention. And finally, online-offline connectivity is a must for loyalty programs in 2022. 48% of respondents say that they want to engage with a loyalty program on mobile while they're shopping in store. And 70% ranked earning points on in-store purchases as very important to them. Whether consumers are shopping in store or online, they want to engage with loyalty programs via mobile. That means that brands with both an e-commerce and brick-and-mortar presence need to ensure their loyalty programs are consistent and accessible no matter where their customers are shopping. And even if your brand sells online, there's still something to take from this, which is the importance of meeting customers where they are. Knowing that your customer prefers to engage with you and that they're interested in allows you to always deliver the right message to the right customer at the right time, whether it's about their loyalty program status or a flash sale. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to customer loyalty, and we've only scratched the surface here. But be sure to check out the full survey results when we post them online so that you can refine your loyalty strategy for 2022. And speaking of loyalty, we have an incredible session coming up with Steve Morales from NYDJ and Emma Fried from Yotpo about building customer rewards programs. But before we get started, I want to quickly encourage everyone to share your thoughts in the live chat panel to the right of your screen or post it in social media. Make sure to use the hashtag DSTND2C and tag us at Yotpo so we can reshare. Now, over to you, Emma.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Emma Fried. I am a strategic client success manager here at Yotpo. I am joined today by Steve Morales, VP of Marketing at NYDJ. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how NYDJ was able to not only build, but scale their loyalty program so quickly with Yotpo. And then we'll also hear from Steve a little bit about what's going on at NYDJ, their parent company, Sunrise Brands, and then of course the e-commerce landscape in general. So Steve, thank you very much for joining us today. To start off, I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself and kind of what is your role in your day-to-day at NYDJ look like?
Sure, thanks for having me. Great to speak with you again. So my role at NYDJ and with Sunrise Brands is VP of Marketing, but I oversee everything marketing, e-com, and creative for most of the brands under the Sunrise Brands umbrella. Been a marketing professional for going on 18 years now, always really focused in the digital space, social media, and then transitioned more into fashion and marketing.
Awesome, thank you. So I know obviously NYDJ does a lot on the marketing side. Can you tell me a little bit more about NYDJ as a brand? Who is your target shopper and kind of what is your company value prop or mission?
Sure, definitely. So NYDJ was founded about 19 years ago now, and has always stood behind the mission, fit is everything. We continue to, even to this day, strive to embrace everyone's curves. We've brought forth denim technology and, continue to evolve the brand to really stick to those core mission, and, have been inclusive from the very beginning. Something that we've always stood behind as a brand before was, the more trendy thing to do nowadays. And now that we're evolving to more of a lifestyle brand, offering head to toe outfitting, we're bringing that across the board, even into the new categories, getting into footwear now, offering extended sizing, widths, everything to continue, going along the path. The NYDJ shopper has grown with the brand. One of our biggest wholesale partners is Nordstrom, so we've tried to really bring that, super serving customer, luxury premium experience, that they came to expect over the years, to our biggest wholesale partner, to online.
That's awesome. I love all of that, and I love how you guys are expanding. I know working together, that's something I get to be a part of in my day-to-day as well. So Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. NYDJ has been live with loyalty for about 2 years now. Is that right?
Yep, just a little under. So right when we transitioned to Shopify, we launched loyalty at the same time. When the brand was acquired by Sunrise Brands, it was on Salesforce through their full suite of products. Saw a huge opportunity to move to Shopify Plus and bring in a lot of the partners that, we've seen work well with so many brands, some that I've worked with and some just, overall that have done really well with Shopify.
Awesome. And was there any reason in particular that you decided not only to choose Yotpo as a partner for the integration with Shopify perks, but also to bring on loyalty from a strategic perspective to NYDJ's business?
Yeah, it was something that, in seeing the history of the brand, as I said, that long-standing relationship with Nordstrom, you think of that loyal Nordstrom customer, you think of, the Nordy Club, you think of, enjoying getting points for their purchases, being able to track purchases throughout, having a good return policy, was something that we wanted to bring to our own .com.
Absolutely. That makes sense. So obviously building out a loyalty program and deciding on strategy, all of that definitely is something that requires a lot of thought and decision making. How did you build out your strategy for actually building out your rewards program?
Yeah, so we actually went very aggressive. I know in the onboarding process, Yotpo has standard guidelines that, hey, if you want to see what the normal setup is, we went very aggressive with ours. It was something that when we looked at our affiliate partners and some performance marketing that did really well, we noticed that the 5% cashback or point redemptions did really well for us with some of our affiliate partners. So again, it's just really looking at your business as a whole, seeing what has worked, seeing what hasn't worked, and then trying to really bring that in to your own channels. So we followed that suit, did a 5% cashback in regards to points, and we definitely saw, with the results that we had, that it was very well received.
Yeah. I'll agree with it being well received. From an analytics perspective, I know we're seeing about a 14x return on investment on the rewards program, which is definitely something to be excited about. Curious on your end, what are some of the results that you've seen from the program? Any sort of interactions with your customers or anything from a more like metrics oriented perspective as well?
Yeah, I mean, the ROI has been great. The average order value for a customer that is using loyalty or is enrolled in the loyalty program has been much higher. When they do go through redemptions, we notice that, they tend to redeem their points, but the AOV on the redemption is even much higher, closing on, 30-35% higher when they do redeem something. And that's something as well as we're trying to evolve the program, looking at the traditional life cycle of products. You go towards the end of the year, you start going into your deep discounts, your off price, try to close the books, on a positive note. So with that, we're actually looking at the business, and something that we're excited about rolling out eventually is point redemption for clothing. So not just a gift card or credit to the store, but actually some of the things that would be going on deep discount, not having those be on the site, not having those go to an off price, but actually having them go to our loyalty members to have a healthier business all around.
That's great. I think product redemption, especially for brands in the fashion space, if you have any collections that have low sell-through, or to your point, any more seasonal inventory that you need to kind of strategically position your customers to purchase to help you move through it, leveraging product redemption is a great way to offer that incentive. So personally, I'm super excited for us to implement that initiative. And this kind of perfectly segues me into my next question, because of course, there would be marketing efforts around an initiative such as free product redemption, but would love if you could talk to me a little bit more about how does NYDJ market your loyalty program? What kinds of efforts do you have in place around audience communication and awareness for the program?
Yeah, so we definitely included it in our email blast. We have a banner on most of our emails that talk about the loyalty program or point people towards the landing page that has all the information on the loyalty program. On our non-promo days, we do offer double points in like 2 or 3 day sprints. So we'll have double points days that have gone really well and give us something else to talk about when, especially helps out when we're rounding out our email calendar. Not have to, throw in another sale or throw in, oh, hey, this is dropped in price, giving them something else to go to that, helps the brand and our wholesale partners appreciate as well, that we're not just throwing another promo in the month, but it's something that can as well, boost sales for that time period.
Absolutely. It's also like another way to drive traffic. So completely aligned with you there. You kind of just spoke to this, but is there anything else as to why do you think it's beneficial for our brands to have loyalty programs?
I think nowadays, it's so tough and competitive with, new brands coming on board, influencers, celebrities starting lines, everybody's really fighting for impressions. I think I read something the other day that said, the past few months, it's been 51% more expensive to acquire a user through Facebook, just with all the iOS changes and everything that's going on. First party data is much more, precious, valuable. So I think, it's just taking things a step further. It's always the race to find out what is the most important thing for you as a marketer and as a brand, was getting email addresses. More recently, it's been getting people on your SMS list. I think that loyalty is one of those things that maybe gets looked over, but is, I would say more important than either of those.
Absolutely. And I love how you can actually leverage loyalty for each of the initiatives. So you mentioned the iOS update. With that, I always say referrals and retention. Leverage the referral program to acquire customers, and then use the loyalty program to actually retain those customers. Similarly with email and SMS sign up, incentivize customers to engage with those programs that you have. So for example, rewarding customers points for opting into SMS. So I agree with everything you said there, and exactly on that page. I know obviously NYDJ is leveraging Yotpo for ratings, reviews, and UGC as well. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you're incorporating the multiple product lines together and what synergies there look like?
Yeah, so when we made the move to Shopify Plus, we had the option to just go with one product or the full suite, but it just made more sense for us to go for the full suite of products. Excuse me. For us to get the ratings and reviews, the loyalty, referral, kind of everything all in one. Nowadays it does make sense to condense partners and vendors, but also just find that balance of who's doing it right, who's doing it best, and not just condense for the sake of condensing. But for us, the reviews and what we're able to use the UGC for in emails and ads, what we're seeing in paid search with the increase there has made it completely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even going off of that, from a synergy perspective, I know NYDJ is rewarding customers not only who leave a review, but then they're rewarding customers like a slightly higher amount for customers who are leaving visual content as well. And so that right there, you're kind of seeing the full customer journey where you're incentivizing for these behaviors, you're generating this content, and then you're able to leverage it for all your initiatives as well. So just kind of all goes full circle.
Completely.
So speaking of full circle, I know you mentioned that NYDJ has a very strong partnership with Nordstrom, and if I recall correctly, NYDJ has about 2 retail stores as well. So would love to hear from you kind of what are some of the challenges that you experience as a marketer in operating brick and mortar and then also an e-commerce shop, and how does loyalty play into that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely plays into it heavily, with, I would say, our, redemption rate or opt-in rate for loyalty through our 2 retail stores is near 100%, where it is not that high online. But, it's something that it's been a little challenging because we're still on a separate system that is, not as up to par as our Shopify integration is. So we're hoping to change that this year. But just, due to the demand and the having to do the account creation by hand or get things going, thankfully it is a nice smooth system, but it's something that the customers have completely asked for. Oh, I saw an email about the loyalty program, and it's even, we've put in, signage, at the stores as well, and it gets them, oh, interested. So we're actually seeing that, they're more likely to convert at the store. They're going to come back because of the loyalty program that we brought from just being online to inside the stores. But next step is definitely to have it more seamless just through the same backend, so that way the associates don't have to be, creating it themselves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think when you're talking about an omni-channel program, it's all about feasibility and usability for your customer service reps. And to that point, education and awareness so that your store clerks are able to speak to your customers about the loyalty program, how customers can join, all of that, and ensuring that it's super easy and straightforward for customers to be able to create an account and use a redemption as if the 2 different programs essentially are communicating with each other and operating as a single instance.
Yeah, completely.
So I want to hear from you. Kind of, obviously, you're super experienced in this field. I'd love to hear, what are some of the trends that you're seeing right now in e-commerce marketing?
I would say, the main trend that I'm seeing is just, trying to have more of a one-on-one customized interaction with your customer. I think personalization and customization have been thrown around the past 3 to 5 years as buzzwords, but I think that, nothing really made it hit home more than the pandemic, and really more than, this influx of needing to move more to e-com and really having to super serve a customer that was completely thrown, out their entire experience, their entire livelihood was thrown out of whack. So it kind of forced us to take a step back and to say, okay, we really need to understand what they're going through, how they want to shop, how they want to be marketed to. And the great thing is I think that, you're able to see which brands did that and which ones didn't, and which ones, rose to the occasion and did it in a good, respectful way. And those brands thrived. So I would say it's going to continue going down that path, leveraging technology, and just looking at things in real time, and making those adjustments.
Absolutely. And going off of that, I know obviously with the loyalty program, something that's so impactful from a personalization perspective is that now when you have a loyalty program, when the customer logs into nydj.com, not only do you have their name, but you also have their point balance or potentially their tier status if that's relevant for another brand. And so that right there makes the customer feel, okay, this brand knows me. They know what actions I've taken with them, and they've rewarded me for them. So completely agree with you. It's super important to have that personalization element. And I know NYDJ has a lot planned this coming year, also start of the new year, so always lots going on. would love to hear kind of what's in store for NYDJ and also for Sunrise Brands in general this year.
Yeah, so I think with us, we're going to continue this transition to more of a lifestyle brand, offering, head to toe outfitting, expanding into new categories that make sense and in the right way. NYDJ has a strong heritage in denim and incorporating denim technology. So we're bringing that technology into other categories, that continue to make sense for us. We're about a year into that. It's going really well with the traditional retail life cycle. Some of those products are just, have just hit the last 2 or 3 seasons. So it's exciting. We can move much quicker on things online, but we have a huge sustainability initiative that we're launching. Some great partnerships that are going to be coming through the end of this year. So just really excited about, the evolution of the brand.
Awesome. I know I'm so excited to watch the brand grow and develop over the coming year, the same way it has the past few years. But Steve, I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for your time today. This was a really, really wonderful conversation. So for everyone who tuned in today, you should be receiving a copy of this webinar to your email. Along with that, we'll also be sending you a rating for this webinar. Super helpful for us so we can get a better understanding of what type of content you're looking for, what kind of speakers, and just what type of webinars and series you're hoping that you can get from Yotpo. And we will be announcing our next event soon. So stay tuned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye.